Good afternoon, Speaker, to the councillors who spend every single day fighting to rescue this great city, aka my DA colleagues, and of course to everyone else. I previously stood here and brought a book to council to educate everyone about the need to listen to those who support us and empower us to govern this once great city. But alas, I believe that speech fell on deaf ears. In fact, I can prove it. During that address, I gifted the then MMC of Finance, who is now the mayor, with a JoJo tank, as we warned about the impending water crisis in Johannesburg. Over a year and a half has passed. And what has the mayor of Joburg done? Nothing to avert the crisis we now found ourselves in, well, except for awarding a dodgy water tanker tender. But let me not digress from the matter at hand, as I rise to discuss the second quarter performance report of both the Development Planning Department and the JDA. There's a common theme that runs through every JDA quarterly report that we've seen in council for years, and this report is no exception. Project stoppages and delays. Whether it's a standard cash flow excuse or challenges with other government departments moving their services, it seems that it's a norm for JDA projects to sit idle for months or years on end. Probably goes without saying that these delays cause exponential increases in project costs. And yet, this ANC, EFF, PA and Action SA coalition continues to operate as if our couches are stuffed with cash. This reckless mismanagement is driving the city into financial ruin. So for this reason, I brought along this book, some prescribed reading for those who fail to manage our cash and project flows. The Ant and the Grasshopper. Now, while there are surely many on that side of the aisle that behave like grasshoppers who've turned into a swarm of locusts and have stripped everything in their path bare before moving on to decimate their next target, I think we should learn the same lessons that the grasshopper in this book has learned. That it is the importance of securing resources necessary such that you can complete your project without unnecessary stoppages. Don't worry, there is a great Coco Melon video on YouTube for those of you that don't read. As someone who's worked in the private construction sector for over a decade, I can tell you that in the vast majority of cases, developers ensure that they have planned their cash and resource flow for the project long before.
Please hold on.
Yet, in Johannesburg, we sit with a growing list of incomplete projects and skyrocketing costs. It's time we re-evaluate our business model and look at the private sector for some simple inspiration. Another area where the department needs some inspiration is how they're going to recontrol the building law enforcement. Joburg's infrastructure is crumbling under unplanned development and illegal construction, leading to water shedding and load rotation. The solution to go to the municipal courts is simply wrong, though. Municipal courts at most can fine transgressors for illegal construction, and while that may enable the city to take one more case off their to-do list, it doesn't undo the damage done and perpetuates the issues already mentioned above, except now the problematic structure is legal because the property owner paid a fine. Another common complaint regarding the city and litigation is the lack of transparency into what's happening with complaints and the perpetuity of unresponsive officials at the regional level. A prime example of this.
Councillor Shea, please hold on.
Just to remind you, we're talking about unresponsive officials. A prime example of this has happened in Councillor Stewart's ward, where a property owner developed an entire extra floor without any approved plans. And yet, Councillor Stewart, despite asking the regional ops manager for building contraventions, the acting assistant director, and the executive director of the department, he's been given a runaround for months on the result of the court actions. What is the department hiding? The DA did submit a motion to try and enable some transparency in this department, but it seems that the ANC, EFF, PA, and Action SA administration would rather keep load rotation and water shedding as a fixture in the lives of Johannesburg's residents than allow a DA motion to see the light of day in council. Petty much. Ladies and gentlemen, Joburg is breaking more and more every day under this administration, and this department is so keen turning the city around. If only it was more transparent, more responsive, and more effective, we'd be so much better off. What Joburg needs is DA leadership, which is like the diligent ant who works until the job is complete. But for the moment, It seems like Joburg has to survive a swarm of creatures I won't mention. Thank you.